Well, hello. How's it going? Happy Bake Oven here from twitch.tv/happybakeoven. I just wanted to give you a really quick guide here about a topic that is not very often discussed on the forums and is pretty darn useful for new or old adventures in Black Desert Online. So real quick, we're just going to switch over here to Black Desert Online and get into the meat of the topic, basically. So what is this guide about? It's about salvaging. Salvaging is simply using simple processing to melt down an item into its three base components, okay? What will you need to salvage? Well, to salvage you need an item you wish to melt down, so it'll be destroyed in the process, and you will need basically Heating Beginner. It's a certification you can get to do this. I highly recommend you speak to Feike in Heidel, and she will give you basically a lot of the life skills certifications that you will be needing throughout the entirety of the game. So it's really important that you do all of her quest chains in Heidel, and that's Feike, F-I-C-Y. Okay, so when do you use salvaging? Well, salvaging is one of those situations where you're in the field and you're grinding, and you look here at your weight limit, and you're getting close to being almost maxed out. And you go, well, do I make the 10-minute journey or the 8-minute journey to the nearest city to sell these items on the marketplace? Is my wagon full already? If so, I have to take time out from my grinding and farming to do this. No, you can salvage. So, we'll just, see that we have a bunch of Kriya longswords here, and we'll get into this. So, what can you not salvage? There are some items in the game you cannot salvage. Basically, cloth-based armors like the Hercules Might set, the Lecca Fortuna set. Additionally, Aswell weapons and Keratis armor, you will not be able to salvage either. You can salvage, though, surprisingly, longbows and staves. Even though they are technically wood-based items, you will not get a, let's say, melted metal shard from those, but you will get the secondary items and tertiary items typically from those. So why is salvaging a good idea? By salvaging gear, you only expend 1 energy point to generate possibly 3 resources that would require a lot of energy to create. One of these items is a pure metal crystal, which, if we take a look here real quick at a spreadsheet I've generated, we'll see here, basically, to create, let's say, a pure iron crystal, if you do all of this yourself and you do all the gathering and all the processing yourself, you're going to need 60 bottles of water, which, with high processing, will only take 30 energy. You'll need wild grass that you can get from farming or gathering, but we'll just say that's another 30 energy. Sunrise herbs, farming as well, and or gathering, and if you're lucky you get 2 per pull, so you're looking at 30 energy there. Rough stone, 240. This is from gathering only, so to get 240 rough stone you need to go out there with a pickaxe and hump rocks all day long. So you're looking at over 100 energy of investment to create a pure iron crystal. But with salvaging, you can spend 1 energy point and generate a pure iron crystal from salvaging certain items. So this is why salvaging is so super important. So now what I'm going to show to you is a spreadsheet that will be accessible via the information screen down below, as well as I'll probably put a hot link on the video as well. And it's using Google Sheets. So we're going to take a gander here real quick at this sheet, and we'll say, okay, what does this sheet do for us? Well, I personally have been melting down everything of little value that I can run into just to figure out what it gives me. And this is just guess and check methods of basically yours truly melting stuff down. So we'll come over here, we'll see there's an amount of tabs here. You can come through here and find whichever tab you're looking for. In this instance, we're melting down Kriya weapons, right? So we'll select weapons, we'll find Kriya, and we're going to be melting down long swords. And using the sheet, we know that our primary, we should always get melted iron shards whenever we salvage. We also have an additional chance of pulling Traces of Despair, and our tertiary items are pure silver crystals. Now, if we harken back to what we just discussed, for 1 energy, we have a chance of pulling all 3 of these items. Melted iron shards take energy to create. Traces of Despair, typically you can get from drops and or from excavation nodes, which require 35 energy typically to unlock up front, and then a worker with high luck to work on. And then pure silver crystals, which, crazy amounts of energy invested. So now that we know what we should expect from salvaging this, when you're in the field, what you simply do is hit your L key. When you have your simple processing menu up, you just click heating, and you'll find Kriya Longsword will be selectable. So you right click it, and it will put it into your heating ring here. And if you have multiples of that item, what you can click here is process all identical items. For your own reference, you will never be able to melt down anything that's been basically enchanted. So if you have a +1 Kriya Longsword, you will not be able to melt this down. So don't worry about that if you select process all identical items and you have your +15 Kriya Longsword, if that's your prerogative. So we're going to select our Kriya Longsword, and we're going to start processing all of our identical items. Yes, we do want to process all of them. So while this is salvaging, we'll just open up our window here, and we're going to take a gander at what we get. So we see we get our melted iron shards and Trace of Despairs with our first melt. And as this goes through, we'll just sort of see it work through all of these items, and we'll see if we're able to pull a pure silver crystal. Now, this is really helpful in the field because if you're overweight and you melt down all of your longswords, if you melt down 6 longswords, basically what you're looking at is conserving 18 LT each time you destroy one of these items, and their base components will never weigh as much as the item itself. So if you're getting really close to your weight limit in the field, what you're doing is allowing yourself to stay in the field longer by destroying these high weight items and basically melting them down into their base components. So we see here that we finally pulled a pure silver crystal. At the end of this, we'll just pull away, we'll open up our inventory screen, and we see from all of that processing, we're able to get 42 iron shards, 2 pure silver crystals, and 20 Traces of Despair. So from 6 energy invested, we were able to generate 2 crystals, which would theoretically, if you did all of the work on your own, cost you over probably 150 to 200 energy to create, not including the time to create all the melted iron shards and the energy, correct? So that is pretty cool. So now let's get down to the meat of it. Can you make money from salvaging? Well, yes you can, actually, if you play the marketplace. So if we come here and we find special deals, we'll see that the Kriya Longswords are currently selling for 20,000. So if you're out in the field and you get a bunch of Kriya Longswords, you come back and you sell them all, you're going to be selling them for 20k. So after taxes, that brings you to about 13,000 silver. The Kriya Longsword itself vendors for 19,600 silver. Okay, that seems reasonable. But if you melt down all of your swords and sell everything, and if you only get 1 from 1 iron shard and 1 Trace of Despair and your pure silver crystal from 1 of your longswords, okay, the final value after taxes is 20,000 silver. So between the vendor price and the salvage price after taxes, you're only making about 1,000 silver more. But if you're grinding all day long and you have a lot of these swords and you melt them all down and your rate of return on your pure metal crystal is very high, you can start generating a lot of silver from using salvaging. So that's basically it for this topic. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a really neat little under-discussed topic in Black Desert Online, and if you use the sheet and you find some items that generate high-value crystals that sell for 20,000 silver, which you'll be able to do, you'll be able to actually own the marketplace when it comes to pure metal crystals. So, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful for you. Please check me out on stream. I stream various games from time to time. you can find me at twitch.tv/happybakeoven. My stream is posted on my profile there. Stream schedule is posted there. And if you really enjoyed this video, feel free to like and subscribe to my channel. I'd greatly appreciate it. We're shooting to get 100 subscribers so we can get that special Happy Bake Oven YouTube URL. Alrighty? So thank you very much. Have a wonderful day and enjoy BDO as much as I have.